The Milky Way galaxy was a bustling hub of advanced alien civilizations. Countless species had mastered faster-than-light travel, colonized thousands of worlds, and created technology that seemed like magic. Among these great powers, the newest and least impressive addition was a small blue planet called Earth. Humans had only recently figured out how to leave their solar system. Their ships were slow and clunky compared to the sleek vessels of other races. Their weapons were primitive, and their technology was laughably outdated. Most alien species looked at humans the way humans might look at ants: small, weak, and not very important. One day, a large ship appeared near Earth. It was unlike anything humans had ever seen. The ship was so big it could be seen from Earth's surface, looking like a new bright star in the night sky. People all over the world pointed at it and wondered what it could be. The ship belonged to the Orcs, one of the oldest and most powerful alien races in the galaxy. They had come to officially welcome humans to the galactic community, but their welcome wasn't very warm. "Greetings, humans," the Orcs leader said in a message broadcast all over Earth. "We have been watching your progress for some time. You are now advanced enough to join us in space, but you have much to learn. Your technology is primitive, your bodies are weak, and your minds are simple. But do not worry. We will guide you and protect you, as we do with all lesser species." Many humans felt angry at being called lesser, but they couldn't deny that the Orcs' technology was far beyond their own. The aliens could travel across the galaxy in days, while it took humans years just to reach the nearest star. The Orcs could cure any disease, while humans still struggled with cancer and the common cold. It seemed that in every way that mattered, humans were indeed weak and primitive. Over the next few months, more alien races visited Earth. They all said similar things. Humans were weak, but they were welcome to join the galactic community as a protected species. Some aliens were kinder than others, but all of them treated humans like children who needed to be taught and guided. But not everything in the galaxy was peaceful. Rumors began to spread about a strange and terrible threat. At first, it was just whispers among the alien diplomats visiting Earth. Then, official warnings started to come in. Something was destroying entire solar systems at the edges of known space. Whatever it was, it moved fast and left nothing but destruction in its wake. The most powerful alien races sent their best ships and weapons to stop it, but nothing seemed to work. As the threat grew closer, more alien ships appeared in Earth's solar system. But they weren't there to protect Earth. They were hiding, using the solar system as a safe place to watch and wait. Humans asked the aliens for help and protection, but the answers they got were not comforting. "We cannot spare resources to defend your primitive world," one alien leader said. "You must understand, humans. In the grand scheme of things, your species is expendable." Another alien was more direct. "If this threat cannot be stopped, the strong must survive. The weak, like you humans, will be sacrificed for the greater good." As the aliens argued among themselves and prepared for the worst, humans realized a hard truth. In this vast, advanced galaxy, they were on their own. No one was coming to save them. If humanity was going to survive, they would have to find a way to do it themselves. But how could they? Their ships were too slow to escape. Their weapons were useless against a threat that even the most advanced aliens couldn't stop. By all logic, humans were doomed. Yet, as the threat grew closer and panic spread across the galaxy, something strange began to happen. Some aliens started to look at humans differently. They noticed things they hadn't seen before. The way humans faced problems, the way they thought about things, the way they never gave up, even when all hope seemed lost. One alien scientist, watching humans prepare for a fight they couldn't possibly win, said something that would soon spread across the galaxy. Perhaps we have been wrong about humans all along. They may be physically weak, but there is a strength in them we do not understand, a strength we may need now more than ever." As the unknown threat loomed ever closer, The galaxy held its breath. And in this moment of greatest danger, all eyes turned to the small blue planet that everyone had dismissed. The planet of the weak, primitive humans who, against all odds, might just turn out to be the heroes the galaxy desperately needed. The unknown threat that had been destroying solar systems at the edge of the galaxy was getting closer. The most powerful alien races decided it was time to act. They gathered their best ships, weapons, and minds for a mission to stop the threat before it could reach the core worlds. The Zoraks, who had first contacted Earth, led the mission. Their massive ships, each as big as a moon, left Earth's solar system. Humans watched through telescopes as the alien fleet disappeared into the darkness of space. "Do not worry," the Zorak's leader told humanity. "Our technology is beyond your understanding. We will deal with this threat easily." Days passed, then weeks. The galaxy waited for news. Humans, feeling helpless, could only watch the stars and hope. Finally, a message came, but it wasn't good news. The Zorak's fleet had found the threat. It was a strange dark energy that moved through space like a storm. It didn't seem alive, but it acted with purpose, destroying everything in its path. The Zoraks attacked with their most powerful weapons. Nothing worked. Their energy beams passed right through the dark storm. Their shields failed against its touch. The proud Zorak ships, once thought invincible, were torn apart like paper. The few surviving ships retreated, bringing terrible news back to the galaxy. The Zoraks, the mightiest of all alien races, had failed. Panic spread across the galaxy. If the Zoraks couldn't stop the threat, who could? Other alien races tried their own plans. The Vexilor, known for their advanced AI, sent robotic ships to study the threat. The ships were destroyed before they could send back any useful data. The Quarn, masters of bioengineering, created living weapons to fight the dark energy. These weapons were absorbed into the storm, making it even stronger. The Eloxi, who could control gravity, tried to create a black hole to trap the threat. But the dark energy flowed around the black hole as if it wasn't even there. With each failure, the galaxy's hope dimmed. Aliens who had once looked down on humans now ignored Earth completely, too busy trying to save themselves. On Earth, humans watched and waited. They saw the fear in the eyes of alien visitors. They heard the panic in the voices of alien leaders. The creatures who had once seemed all-powerful now looked lost and scared. Some humans suggested ideas to help, but the aliens dismissed them without even listening. "Your primitive minds cannot grasp the complexity of this threat," one alien scientist told a group of human researchers. "Go back to your little planet and pray. That's all you can do now." But humans didn't pray. Instead, they prepared. All around the world, people came together. Scientists worked day and night, trying to understand the threat from the little information they had. Engineers built new machines and weapons, even though they seemed puny compared to alien technology. Soldiers trained, ready to defend their home against an enemy they couldn't even imagine. As alien civilizations fell into chaos, humanity stood united. They faced the threat with determination, even though they knew their chances were slim. One day, a small alien ship crashed near a human city. Inside was a wounded alien, a member of a race humans had never seen before. As human doctors tried to help the alien, it spoke. "We were wrong about you," the alien said weakly. "We thought you were the weakest race in the galaxy, but now I see. You may be the strongest of us all." "What do you mean?" a human doctor asked. The alien coughed, its strange eyes looking at the humans with a mix of fear and hope. "You don't give up," it said. "The rest of us, we thought our technology would save us. When it failed, we lost hope. But you humans, you keep fighting, even when you know you can't win. Maybe that's the strength we need." With those words, the alien fell unconscious. The humans looked at each other, not sure what to think. They had always seen themselves as the weakest race in the galaxy. Could it be that they had a strength the aliens didn't understand? As news of alien failures spread, more and more eyes turned towards Earth. The primitive planet of weak humans was suddenly the center of attention. Because in this darkest hour, when all seemed lost, humanity stood strong. The aliens who had once looked down on humans now watched them with growing interest and a spark of hope. Maybe, just maybe, these strange creatures from Earth knew something the rest of the galaxy had forgotten. And perhaps in humanity's stubborn refusal to give up, lay the key to saving them all. As the dark energy storm continued to tear through the galaxy, destroying everything in its path, the once proud alien races found themselves in a position they had never imagined, turning to humans for help. It started with small groups of alien scientists sneaking down to Earth, looking for new ideas. They were surprised by what they found. Human scientists, working with far less advanced technology, were coming up with creative solutions the aliens had never considered. One day, a big meeting was called. Representatives from all the major alien races gathered in a secret underground base on Earth. For the first time, humans were invited as equals. The meeting room was tense. Aliens who had once looked down on humans now sat nervously, waiting to hear what these primitive beings had to say. Dr. Sarah Chen, a young human scientist, stood up to speak. Her voice shook a little, but her eyes were determined. "We may not have your advanced technology," she said, "but we have something you've forgotten. Adaptability. We've spent our entire history overcoming challenges with limited resources. That's our strength." The aliens muttered among themselves. Some looked doubtful, others curious. Dr. Chen continued, "We've been studying the data you've shared. We think the dark energy responds to consciousness. Your AI ships and bioweapons failed because they lacked the unpredictability of a living, thinking mind." This caught the aliens' attention. A Zorax scientist spoke up, "But our minds are far more advanced than yours. If consciousness is the key, why would human minds work better?" An old human professor named Dr. Okoro answered, "Because we're closer to our primitive roots. We still have strong connections to our instincts, our emotions. These might be the very things we need to understand and counter this threat." The room erupted in discussion. Some aliens argued that trusting humans was foolish. Others thought it might be their only hope. Finally, the Iloxi leader, a tall, slender being with shimmering skin, raised a hand for silence. "We have tried everything else," she said. "Perhaps it is time to try the human way." And so a plan was made. A small team would be sent to face the dark energy storm. But instead of a high-tech alien ship, they would use a modified human vessel. And the team would be mostly human, with a few alien experts to help. Choosing the human team members was hard. They needed people who were brave, creative, and adaptable. After much debate, 5 humans were selected. 1. Maria Gonzalez, a quick-thinking engineer who could fix anything with duct tape and a paperclip. 2. Jamal Williams, a former soldier turned peace negotiator, known for staying calm in any crisis. 3. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, a brilliant physicist with wild, out-of-the-box ideas. 4. Omar al-Rashid, a young hacker who could work magic with computers. 5. And surprisingly, Zara Okoro, the 12-year-old granddaughter of Dr. Okoro. Her young, imaginative mind might see things adults would miss. The aliens were shocked by this team. Children, soldiers, hackers, this is who you send to save the galaxy, they asked. This, Dr. Chen said with a smile, is humanity at its best. Diverse, adaptable, and full of surprises. As the team prepared for their mission, something strange happened. The aliens began to feel something they hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. They watched as the humans trained and planned. They saw Maria turn scrap metal into useful tools, Jamal calm arguments with a few words, Yuki come up with ideas that seemed crazy but just might work, Omar create programs that did the impossible, and young Zora ask questions that made everyone think in new ways. The night before the mission launch, The Zoraks leader who had first contacted Earth visited the human team. He looked at each of them, his alien eyes unreadable. "When we first met your species," he said slowly, "we thought you were weak. We were wrong. Your strength isn't in your technology or your physical power. It's in your spirit. Your ability to hope, to try, to keep going when all seems lost. Perhaps that is the greatest strength of all." The humans nodded, too nervous to speak. They knew the fate of the galaxy rested on their shoulders. It was a weight no human had ever carried before. As dawn broke, the modified human ship stood ready for launch. It looked small and fragile compared to the giant alien ships around it. But inside that ship was humanity's best hope, a team that represented the unique strengths of the human spirit. The galaxy watched and waited as the ship took off, carrying its unlikely heroes towards the greatest threat it had ever faced. For the first time in this crisis, there was a glimmer of hope, and it came from the most unexpected source: the young, weak race of humans who refused to give up. The modified human ship, named Hope, sped through space towards the dark energy storm. Inside, the team of 5 humans and 3 alien experts prepared for the unknown. Maria Gonzalez, the engineer, was busy in the engine room. She had rebuilt parts of the ship using a mix of human and alien technology. "It's not pretty," she said, tightening a bolt with a wrench, "but it'll work." In the control room, Omar al-Rashid's fingers flew over the keyboard. He had created a new program to analyze the dark energy. "It's like coding and playing a video game at the same time," he grinned. Dr. Yuki Tanaka floated in the zero-gravity lab, surrounded by strange equipment. "We're going to try something the aliens never thought of," she explained to Zara, the young girl. "We're going to talk to the storm." Jamal Williams, the ex-soldier, was in charge of keeping everyone calm and focused. He moved from room to room, offering encouragement and solving conflicts. The 3 alien experts watched all this with a mix of doubt and hope. They had never seen humans work up close before. It was chaotic, noisy, and strangely exciting. As they got closer to the storm, tension grew. The alien equipment started to malfunction, just like before. But this time, things were different. When the ship's shields began to fail, Maria was ready. She had built a backup system using old human weather satellites. "Sometimes older is better," she said as the shields flickered back to life. Omar's program detected patterns in the storm that the alien computers had missed. "It's not random," he shouted excitedly. "There's a rhythm to it, like a heartbeat." Dr. Tanaka took this information and had a wild idea. "What if we try to match that rhythm?" she suggested, "like sensing our heartbeats to its pulse." The aliens thought this was crazy. "That's not scientific," one of them protested. But Zara, the young girl, understood immediately. "Like when you feel the beat in music and start dancing without thinking," she said. "We need to dance with the storm." Jamal took charge, coordinating everyone's efforts. They recalibrated the ship's energy output to match the storm's rhythm. Omar programmed a visual interface so they could see the beat. Maria rigged up a system to pulse the ship's lights in sync. As they entered the edge of the storm, alarms blared. The ship shook violently, but instead of fighting against the energy, they'd flowed with it. To everyone's amazement, it worked. The ship wasn't destroyed. Instead, it moved through the storm like a leaf on a river. "We're in," Jamal shouted. But now what? Dr. Tanaka had another unconventional idea. "If this storm is conscious in some way, maybe we can communicate with it," she suggested. The team worked together to send out pulses of energy in different patterns, like a simple language. Hours passed with no response. The aliens grew impatient, but the humans refused to give up. Finally, after what seemed like forever, they felt a change. The storm's energy shifted. It was responding. Slowly, using their makeshift language of energy pulses, they began to communicate with the storm. It was alien and strange, nothing like talking to the other alien races. But somehow, the humans found a way to understand. They learned that the storm wasn't evil or destructive on purpose. It was lost and confused, lashing out in fear. It had been trapped in our galaxy, unable to find its way home. With this knowledge, the team came up with a daring plan. They would guide the storm, showing it the way out of the galaxy to open space where it couldn't harm anyone. The aliens were skeptical. "How can we trust this thing?" they asked. "How do we know it won't turn on us?" Zara spoke up, her young voice full of wisdom beyond her years. "Sometimes you have to take a chance," she said. "Sometimes being kind is braver than fighting." And so, in a move that surprised the entire galaxy, the human ship didn't attack the storm. Instead, they began to guide it, like sheepdogs herding a flock. It was dangerous work. Many times they almost lost control. But the humans' creativity and adaptability always found a solution. Where alien technology failed, human ingenuity succeeded. As news of their progress spread, the galaxy watched in awe. The creatures they had dismissed as weak and primitive were doing the impossible. They were saving everyone. Slowly but surely, the human ship led the dark energy storm towards the edge of the galaxy. They were tired. Their ship was barely holding together, but their spirits were strong. Just as they reached the galaxy's edge, they sent one final message to all watching. "This is humanity. We came in peace, and we're leaving in peace. Remember this day. Remember that strength comes in many forms, and sometimes the most unexpected heroes are the ones who save us all." With that, the human ship and the dark energy storm vanished into the depths of space, leaving behind a changed galaxy and a new legend of human courage. Days passed after the human ship Hope and the dark energy storm disappeared at the edge of the galaxy. The entire galaxy held its breath, waiting for news. Had the humans succeeded, or had they, like so many before them, failed? Back on Earth, scientists worked day and night to analyze the data sent back by the Hope before it vanished. Dr. Sarah Chen led the team, her eyes red from lack of sleep but shining with excitement. "We're close to understanding something big," she told the gathered alien representatives. "The storm, it's not just energy. It's alive, in a way we've never seen before." The aliens murmured in disbelief. One Zorak scientist spoke up. "That's impossible. Our scans showed no signs of life." Dr. Chen smiled tiredly. "That's because we were looking for life as we know it. This is something entirely different." She brought up a holographic display, showing swirling patterns of energy. "Look here," she pointed. "These patterns, they're like thoughts. The storm is thinking, feeling, reacting." The room erupted in shocked discussions. If the storm was alive, it changed everything. Meanwhile, on the far side of the galaxy, the Hope was still guiding the storm. Inside the ship, the human team had made an incredible discovery. Yuki Tanaka floated in the zero-gravity lab, her eyes wide with wonder. "It's responding to our emotions," she said. "When we feel fear, it becomes more chaotic. When we're calm, it settles." Jamal nodded, his soldier's instincts kicking in. "So we need to stay positive, no matter what. Our mood affects its behavior." Young Zara, who had been quiet for a while, suddenly spoke up. "It's lonely," she said softly. Everyone turned to look at her. "Can't you feel it? It's been alone for so long, lost in our galaxy. That's why it was destroying things. It was scared and confused." The adults were silent, realizing that the child had sensed something they had missed. Zara continued, "We need to show it that it's not alone anymore. We need to be its friend." Omar, the hacker, had an idea. "What if we could visualize our feelings? Show the storm that we understand." Maria, always quick to build things, was already grabbing tools. "I can rig up our holographic projectors to the emotional sensors. We could create a visual representation of our emotions." As the team worked on this new idea, something amazing happened. The storm began to change. Its wild, destructive energy started to calm. It began to mirror the humans' emotions, creating beautiful patterns of light and color. Back in the galaxy, alien scientists were making their own breakthroughs. Inspired by the humans' approach, they started looking at the problem in new ways. An Eloxy researcher made a startling discovery. The storm's energy, she announced, it's similar to the energy our ancestors used to travel between galaxies long ago. We had forgotten about it, relying on our advanced technology instead. This revelation sent shockwaves through the alien communities. They had been so focused on their advanced technology that they had forgotten their own history, their connection to the more primitive forces of the universe. As more data came in from the Hope, the aliens began to understand the humans' unique strength. It wasn't their technology or their physical abilities. It was their connection to their emotions, their ability to empathize, even with something as alien as the energy storm. Dr. Chen presented these findings to a grand council of alien leaders. Humans are not weak, she said firmly. We are strong in ways you had forgotten. Our connection to our primitive past, which you saw as a weakness, is actually our greatest strength. She showed them images of the Hope guiding the now calm energy storm. We didn't fight the storm. We didn't try to destroy it. We understood it. We befriended it. And in doing so, we may have saved us all. The alien leaders were silent, absorbing this incredible information. Everything they had believed about strength and weakness, about advanced and primitive, was being challenged. As the Hope continued its journey, guiding the storm out of the galaxy, a new understanding was dawning across the stars. The humans, once seen as the weakest species, had shown a kind of strength that the galaxy had long forgotten. They had reached out with empathy and understanding, turning a deadly threat into a potential ally. They had used creativity and adaptability where advanced technology had failed. And most importantly, they had shown that true strength comes not from dominating others, but from connecting with them. The galaxy would never be the same again. And as the Hope sent its final messages before leaving known space, aliens everywhere began to look at humans with new respect and wonder. The age of human heroes had begun. The galaxy held its breath as the human ship Hope and the now friendly energy storm approached the edge of known space. This was the moment of truth. Would the humans succeed in guiding the storm out of the galaxy, or would everything fall apart at the last moment? Inside the Hope, the team was exhausted but determined. Maria's makeshift repairs were barely holding the ship together. Omar's fingers flew over his keyboard, constantly adjusting their course. Dr. Tanaka and Zora worked together, using their emotional link to keep the storm calm. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. "What's happening?" Jamal shouted, rushing to the control room. Omar's face was pale. There's another storm coming," he said. "A bigger one. And it's angry." Through the view screen, they saw it. A massive swirl of dark energy, crackling with destructive force. It was heading straight for them, and the friendly storm they were guiding. "It must be looking for its lost friend," Zora said, her young voice filled with worry. The team had a quick meeting. They had two choices. They could try to run, abandoning their friendly storm and hoping to escape, or they could stand their ground and try to communicate with this new threat. "We can't leave our friend behind," Maria said firmly, patting the ship's wall. "We promised to help." Jamal nodded. "We're humans. We don't abandon our allies, even if they're made of energy." The decision was made. They would make their stand here, at the edge of the galaxy. As the angry storm approached, the team put their plan into action. They positioned their ship between the two storms, like a small shield protecting its friend. "Let's show it what we've learned," Dr. Tanaka said. She activated the emotional projection system they had built. Immediately, the space around the Hope lit up with swirling colors, representing the crew's feelings. There was fear, yes, but also determination, hope, and a strong sense of protection for their storm friend. The angry storm paused, as if confused by this display. It had expected to find enemies, not this strange ship defending its lost companion. Zara stepped forward, her hand on the emotional controls. "Let me try," she said. The adults looked at each other, then nodded. Zara closed her eyes and focused. The emotional display changed, showing feelings of welcome, understanding, and an offer of friendship. It was a child's simple, pure emotions, reaching out across the void of space. For a tense moment, nothing happened. The angry storm swirled, its energy crackling dangerously. Everyone held their breath. Then, slowly, the storm began to change. Its violent energy calmed, matching the peaceful patterns of Zora's emotions. It moved closer, not to attack, but as if curious. "It's working," Omar shouted. "The storm is responding." Over the next few hours, the team worked tirelessly to communicate with both storms. They learned that the storms were indeed alive, part of a species that traveled between galaxies. The one they had befriended had gotten separated and lost in their galaxy, causing accidental destruction in its confusion and fear. As understanding grew, the storm's behavior changed. Their destructive energy transformed into beautiful, swirling patterns of light. "They're not destroyers," Dr. Tanaka realized. "They're explorers, like us. They just needed someone to understand them." With their combined knowledge of storm communication, the team managed to explain the situation to both entities. They showed the storms a safe path out of the galaxy, where they could roam free without causing harm. As the storms prepared to leave, something unexpected happened. They invited the Hope to come with them, to explore the space between galaxies. The team was faced with an incredible choice: return home as heroes, or embark on an adventure beyond anything humans had ever experienced. After a long discussion, they made their decision. They would go with the storms, but not before sending a final message to Earth and the galaxy they were leaving behind. "This is the crew of the Hope," Jamal's voice transmitted across space. "We've succeeded in our mission, but our journey isn't over. We've been invited to explore the unknown, and we've accepted. Remember what we've learned. Strength comes in many forms, and understanding is more powerful than fear. Humanity is ready for the stars. Hope out." As the transmission ended, the Hope and the two energy storms moved together, accelerating towards the edge of the galaxy. In a flash of brilliant light, they vanished into the unknown, leaving behind a forever changed galaxy. On Earth and countless alien worlds, beings looked up at the stars with new wonder. The age of fear was over. A new era of exploration, understanding, and cooperation had begun, all thanks to the weak humans who had become the heroes of the galaxy. 5 years had passed since the human ship Hope disappeared into the unknown with the energy storms. The galaxy had changed in ways no one could have imagined. On Earth, the return of the other human ships that had been part of the mission was met with celebrations. The crews were hailed as heroes, but the absence of the Hope and its brave team was felt deeply. Dr. Sarah Chen, now the head of Earth's new Galactic Relations Department, stood before a massive crowd in New York City. Behind her, representatives from dozens of alien races waited to speak. 5 years ago, Dr. Chen began, humanity was seen as weak and primitive. Today, we stand as equals among the stars. Our primitive emotions, our adaptability, our willingness to understand rather than destroy, these have become our greatest strengths. The crowd cheered, humans and aliens alike. In the years since the energy storm crisis, Earth had become a center of galactic cooperation and learning. Alien students now came to Earth to study human sciences like psychology, art, and creative problem-solving. Human teachers were in high demand across the galaxy, helping other races rediscover their emotional connections. But it wasn't just humans teaching. Alien experts shared advanced technology, helping Earth make incredible leaps in science and exploration. The exchange of knowledge benefited everyone. As Dr. Chen finished her speech, a Zorax representative stepped forward. The once arrogant race had become one of Earth's closest allies. "We owe humanity a great debt," The Zorax said. You reminded us of truths we had forgotten in our pursuit of technology. You showed us that true strength lies not in domination, but in cooperation and understanding. Suddenly, a murmur ran through the crowd. People were pointing at the sky. Dr. Chen looked up and gasped. A swirling pattern of energy had appeared above the city, beautiful and familiar. It's them, someone whispered. They're back. As the crowd watched in awe, the energy coalesced into a recognizable shape. The Hope, surrounded by swirling, friendly energy storms. The ship landed in Central Park, and the world held its breath as the door opened. Out stepped the crew, older, changed, but alive and smiling. Jummel, now sporting a beard, spoke first. Sorry we're late, he grinned. Traffic was terrible between galaxies. The reunion was emotional and joyous. The Hope crew shared incredible stories of their journey beyond the galaxy, of the wonders they had seen and the civilizations they had encountered. The storms, Maria explained, they're part of a vast network of energy beings. They've been exploring the universe for millions of years, and now, thanks to our friendship, they want to share their knowledge with us. Young Zara, now a teenager, added, they've invited our galaxy to join a kind of galactic federation, not based on technology or power, but on understanding and cooperation. They chose us, humans, to represent our galaxy. The news spread quickly across Earth and to every corner of the galaxy. The implications were enormous. Humanity, once dismissed as weak, was now the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe. In the days that followed, leaders from every world met to discuss this incredible opportunity. The Hope crew, along with Dr. Chen and other human experts, led the talks. It wasn't easy. Old fears and prejudices sometimes surfaced. But each time, the lessons learned from the energy storm crisis helped find a way forward. Humans' talent for diplomacy, creativity, and emotional intelligence proved invaluable. Finally, after weeks of discussion, a decision was reached. The galaxy would accept the invitation. A new era of exploration and cooperation would begin, with humanity playing a central role. As the announcement was made, celebrations erupted across countless worlds. On Earth, humans looked to the stars with new wonder and pride. They had faced their greatest challenge and emerged not just victorious, but transformed. Dr. Chen, standing with the Hope crew and alien representatives, summed up the feelings of many. We set out to save the galaxy, but we ended up changing it. And ourselves, for the better. Our journey is just beginning. As night fell, the sky lit up with fireworks and the friendly glow of energy beings. Humans and aliens mingled, sharing stories and dreams of the future. The age of isolation was over. A new galactic civilization was dawning, founded on the very qualities that had once been seen as human weaknesses. In the end, it wasn't advanced technology or powerful weapons that saved the galaxy. It was understanding, empathy, and the unbreakable human spirit. The weak humans had become the heroes no one expected, opening the door to a future brighter than anyone had dared to imagine.